nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. I wanna see it. See how. Rewind. When we rewind, feels so nice.
Hey! It is definitely crazy having to call Randy again and saying, I gotta file for divorce. How you doing?
Well, how are you?
Good. My divorce from Simon, I haven't dealt with the emotional part yet. I've had to deal with logistics.
Ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, you know where we're going.
It's really weird. It feels really cold.
Thank you for coming back to us. It's good to be in your life again. I'm sorry this is why.
I mean, even in the first divorce, I knew that if I wanted to go to court, you would go to bat for me.
You walked away from a lot.
Cordell, pack my stuff up like I'm some random. Karma has a name, and that name is bitch. And it's gonna get him. It's gonna bite him in that big bubble butt. And in this case, I was smart enough to do a prenup to do it the right way. I had to be more responsible this go round because I have a child. In my relationship with Simon, I felt that if I had him by my side, we could conquer anything. However, I started just realizing a lot of different things that turned out to be untruths. He wouldn't tell me what our finances were. I'm not gonna let a foreclosure notice come to my house and I can't pay it. So I wanted to make sure if it happens, I have the money to help us do what we need to do. I felt the need to file when I did to protect assets. Our home is very important to me. It literally was what we both wanted when we envisioned the future. And, you know, I have definitely made it a home. But both of us have 50-50 interest in the house. So him now saying he doesn't want me to film in my home is an issue.
The court gave you the right to live in the house, so we're going to try to do an extra document that says the court is telling anyone that wants to film in the house that you have the full right to do that.
So we're just going to go ahead and file it as an emergency request so that the court can see, hey, this is impacting her longevity, her ability to earn income.
Right. Because Simon sent a cease and desist, I can't film in the house. You don't play with where I make my money. Don't do that.
Listen here. I I could care less if this is the unpopular opinion, but it is mine. And all it is an opinion, so it doesn't hold weight in court. So, of course, who really cares? But I'm going to share my opinion. Because it was awarded recently on Porsha's behalf that she has the right to film in the home. She was already given the right to live there. She wasn't granted the house in terms of she could keep it. But I say that Simon, and I'm not even saying I'm a fan of Simon, so this has nothing to do with being on either body's side, because I'm just doing my best to be on the side of right. Simon should pull a Bob Whitfield. Remember when Sheree was going through the divorce with Bob and he let the house go into foreclosure because I believe the divorce, she was granted the house, and I don't know what she was doing with the money because we've seen Sheree make some crazy moves over the years. But the house went into foreclosure and she had to pack up and move into an apartment or whatever. She's moved to different places before the chateau was built. Simon should just let the house go into foreclosure. I'm saying he should just stop paying the mortgage, and because ultimately, unless you have a deed and the house is paid for, the bank owns the house. That's for everybody. Because people could talk about, oh, you're renting, you don't own your house. Unless you have the deed, nobody owns it. Like, I own some land. It's paid for. I have the deed in my safe. It's mine. I have a house. I'm paying a mortgage, but the house isn't paid off. So the bank ultimately owns it, and they can't kick me out of it unless I stop paying the mortgage. Simon should just stop paying the mortgage because he's commenting on these posts. You know, he commented and he said, I would never fight to live in a house about to be foreclosed on with my clan. especially one I have no equitable interest in, make that narrative make sense. So, I mean, it sounds like that's what the plan is, because he says it's about to be foreclosed on, so maybe he's already stopped making the payments on it. But yeah, I wouldn't even be commenting on it. I would just like move in silence, Simon. I know that's a hard thing for you to do because you like to clap back, but just let it go. Let karma handle Porsha, because she married Simon for his money. Now we know that Simon married her for her beauty, superficial or not, but that's what he did. You got what you paid for. You got a woman, you promised to keep her, give her a monthly allowance, taking her on all these trips. She's always showing off on social media about all the amazing places that she's going and whatnot. But Porsha is not broke. She's gone back to being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta so that she can get a check again that she's quote unquote working for. I mean, it's not even real work, but let's just be real. It's a job. So she's getting a check for that. And she doesn't have to lay on her back to do it, you know, so kudos to her. But she has her own house. She has money. It may not have been the amount that he had. I don't know what he still has remaining after dealing with her and all the other stuff that he has paid for during this brief time together, because the marriage was 15 months. The courtship, dating, screwing, all of that was however long it was. But just move in silence. Let the house be foreclosed on, and then she doesn't have a choice but to be moving out and filming in her own place or getting another place. And that just goes to show, you know, some people could say, well, she was the wife. She still is. They're not divorced. And he promised her that, and she has the right to the house. But she's speaking about where her values are. I don't have an issue with anyone having interest in tangible assets and all of that stuff and being in a relationship. I am not an advocate for struggling in a relationship with someone that you're just getting in a relationship with. I'm definitely not saying that. Especially when it's not someone where you just met a long time ago, you both didn't have nothing, and then you just came up together and you struggled together. That's different. But yeah, I don't understand wanting to be in this place that is not really yours, and having, you know, to fight in court to stay in this place, to film in it and whatever. She talks about her values. This home means a lot to me. I don't have a problem with anybody liking their property. I like my house. Okay, I do. But this is what you call wanting to remain in the lifestyle that you've become accustomed to. And Simon provided her a lifestyle that she became accustomed to. But it wasn't even that long. They have no children together. She says, I have a daughter. But yeah, you don't have a daughter with him. And then you're posted up with your baby daddy doing green screen interviews for this upcoming season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, what's that about? And that gives some people pause to make them feel like, were they in on the scheme together? Was this a scheme that Todd set up to come at us with the BS? Famous words from Aunt Bertha, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Shout out to her. But girl, it just is, she's just as dense as they come. She gets by with a lot because so many people are superficial. So they look at her looks, her beauty, and they're going to side with her because of those things, because they see Simon as undesirable. He doesn't look that good. He was just using her. Yeah, he was. He was using her too. They used each other. So again, I'm not saying either one of them are victims, but I definitely am not here to say that she deserves to be able to keep the home. So yeah, Simon, just like you stopped making the payments on that jet, stop making the payments on this house. The bank will have her out of there quicker than you can. Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the holy mess.